This video is just to help you remember your circle, and it's to identify patterns in the unit circle and to tell you one more time how to use the hand trick. First of all, looking at our circle, I want us to notice that everything that has a 6 on the bottom have in common that if it is a pi, some number over 6, it's going to be some version of the point square root of 3 over 2, 1/2. Depending on what quadrant it's in, if it's in quadrant 1, they're both going to be positive. If it's in quadrant 2, negative, positive. Quadrant 3, negative, negative. Quadrant 4, positive, negative. Okay? So if I were to ask you, let's just say I was to ask you for sine of 5 pi over 6, and you didn't have your circle sitting in front of you, you would take your hand, which I'm going to draw over here. Whoa, that's a big thumb. Why do I have such a hard time drawing this? Okay. You would take your hand, and it only works, the hand only works for quadrant 1, so don't try to turn your hand sideways and try to do quadrant 2 with it, because it doesn't work. Okay, and I know that it's over 6, so I go to my 6 finger, which is here, and I put it down. Okay, I'm going to put that finger down. How many do I have to begin with? I have 3, and I have 1. So that gives me 3 and 1. So I know that the sine is the y value because it's cosine, sine. So I know it's going to be 1/2. But now my question is it going to be positive or negative? Well, looking at 5 over 6, if I was to count around with 6's, this would be 0, this would be 3 pi over 6, this would be 6 pi over 6, 9 pi over 6, 12 pi over 6. So where would 5 be? 5 would be between 3 and 6, so it's going to be right there, and I get 1/2. With your circle sitting in front of you, it's easy as pie. If the circle's not sitting in front of you, you have to know some things. Alright, let's try something else. And if you look at the 45's, they're the same. Okay, square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. Did I say over 5's? I meant over 4. The 45's are the pi over 4's. Okay, and if you'll notice, in the first quadrant, everything has 1's on top. So if you're looking at either pi over 3, pi over 4, pi over 6, they're in the first quadrant, they have 1's. Everything in the second quadrant is a little bit less than the bottom number. 5 is a little less than 6, 3 is a little less than 4, 2 is a little less than 3. 7 is a little bigger than 6 in the third quadrant. 5 is a little bit bigger than 4, 4 is a little bit bigger than 3. So everything in the third quadrant is a little bit bigger than pi. Everything in the fourth quadrant is way bigger. You have 11 over 6, that's almost 2, which would be 12 over 6. 7 over 4 is almost 8 over 4. 5 over 3 is almost 6 over 3. So everything here is almost 2. Okay? So if I was looking at my hand, okay, there's my hand, and I want over 4, well that's this finger. So I have the square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. How do you know it's under a square root and over 2? Because you need to memorize that. Okay? The hand just tells you what the numbers are, 2 and 2. Alright? And then the over 3's, whoops, just kidding, here, 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 and here all have 1/2's and square root of 3 over 2's. Okay? So if you're looking at your hand, really? Whoops, that's not enough fingers. Okay, if you're looking at your hand and your over 3 finger is this one, it's your ring finger. If you make it go away, you have 1/2 square root of 3 over 2. Okay, so let's just do a couple, just random. New page. Alright, say I want the cosine of 7 pi over 4. Well, I'm like, alright, if I think of 4's, this is 0, this is 2 over 4, this is 4 over 4, This is going to be 6 over 4 and 8 over 4. So 7 over 4 is going to be here. It's over 4, so if I think about my hand, I put down this finger, and I have 2 and 2. So it's going to be square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. It's in the quadrant 4, so it's going to be positive, negative. So positive, negative. So cosine is that one. Okay. What if I ask you for cosecant of 7 pi over 6? Okay. 7 pi over 6, if I think about sixes, this is going to be 0, half of 6 is 3, all the way, 6 pi over 6 is here, and then 9 pi over 6, if I just do my common denominators, and 12 pi over 6. So 7 pi over 6 is going to be in this quadrant. It's over 6. Over 6 is my pointer finger, so I have 3 and 1. So I have 3 and 1. Square root of 3 over 2 and 1 half, because the square root of 1 is 2. It's in quadrant 3, so it's negative, 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 negative. So cosecant, what am I looking for? What does cosecant go with? Cosecant goes with sine. So you need to find the sine. The sine is negative 1 half because it's the y value, because it's cosine, sine. Okay, so you need to find the sine, and then how do you find cosecant once you have sine? You flip it over. Okay, I want to do one more. I want to do, what if I ask you for tan of 2 pi over 3? Okay, 2 pi over 3 is a little bit less than 3 pi over 3, so it's going to be in this quadrant. Okay, over 3 is this finger, and that's 1 and 3, so it's going to be 1 half square root of 3 over 2. It's in quadrant 2, so it's negative, positive, so it's negative, positive. Okay, so tan is sine over cosine, so that's negative square root of 3 over 1, or just the negative square root of 3. Hope that helped if you're having trouble.